Hi guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. Today we're looking at 100 Bullets number 10. I still don't have number 7. Seems I'm missing 2 or 3 out of the 100. But I've got this one, number 10, and we've also got the 8 of Swords Pegasus. Okay, World Fantasy Tarot. It is what it is. But here we go. Before we jump on number 10, let's take a look at number 9. We did this one a while back. This is Cole Burns. And number 10 is where we get just who the Minutemen are. But I'm going to back up it through this one a little bit. Cole is an ice cream man. This one is in the playlist, and I did organize the playlist. So it comes after number 8, if I have 8. I don't remember. But we have 9. This is Cole and his girlfriend. Cole is an ice cream man. Cole is having it out with this other ice cream man named Laszlo, who is stealing his corners. They are in competition with one another. I'm guessing this is New York. It might be LA. I honestly don't know. What does that street sign say? Richmond and Amstoy? I don't know that corner. I don't think this is LA. Doesn't really matter. He and Laszlo go after each other. He throws Laszlo's keys in the drain. But that's not the real story. What happens, Cole gets given a briefcase. Does he get given a briefcase? And he gets told that this guy killed his grandmother. I'm trying to remember if Agent Graves visits him or not. I think he does. Agent Graves leaves a briefcase on... Yeah. Agent Graves gives him this briefcase, tells him that this Russian killed his grandmother by burning down an old folks' home. The Russian explains when Cole confronts him that he owned that old folks' home and that he couldn't kick everybody out because of the way the state had written the laws. He literally had to wait for them all to die. So he burned it down, and his grandparents were in that old folks' home too. But now he got to turn the property into some sort of state-sanctioned, I don't know, whatever. He gets a ton of money from it. He's also torturing this guy because this guy hasn't paid him. This guy's like a guitarist, and he smashes up his hand. Petrovic, I think his name is. And so Petrovic is not going to take this from Cole. He's also not going to take this from this guy. Like I said, he bashes up his hand. This guy has been told by Graves that if he sees Cole to say the word Croatoa, and it just might save his life, he says it right here. It unlocks Cole's memories. Cole is an MK Ultra assassin, like Arizona Wilder in the David Icke Revelations of a Mother Goddess video, which should be linked in the description. If you don't know MK Ultra and the Manchurian Candidate, I would go back and watch those movies. Cole has had his memories locked away so that he could be in hiding. And Eduardo Risso is getting the backs of the guns right. I think someone got in his face about doing a 1911 as a Glock. If you're going to do a Glock, do a Glock. If you're going to do a 1911, do a 1911. And that is where this issue ends. We don't know what happens next. Today, we find out. Issue number 10, 100 Bullets. I love this comic. It's so good. I was thinking about doing Warren Ellis's Transmetropolitan. I know they've got a bunch of issues for that one too. I don't know. We might. I've still got 150 so issues of Conan to get a hold of that I haven't done yet. And we haven't done any of the Black and White Savage Sword comics. I have a whole box of those stashed over at a friend's place. I might just rebuy them. They're getting pretty cheap. Everything is getting cheap now. So, let's see if I can get this centered a little bit better. That's a hot ad. I should look that up. Scicomic.com. Cole comes out of this. He's been shot up, took one in the shoulder. His ice cream truck really took some abuse. But everyone else is dead. I hate when they do this in TV shows, but we do get to see the shootout later, so I can forgive them. Goldie Petrovic, that's his name, Goldie, took a bullet in the head. Cole's standing there with the gun. So now these guys are called Minutemen, like, Paul Revere and the Midnight Ride. However, in today's term, now I'm sure they're connected straight back to their founding fathers and the Revolution. But there's something generally called the Mad Minute. Most shootouts last about a minute or less. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, half a second. The Mad Minute is that adrenaline dump that you get. And that's what most cops, security, soldiers get addicted to. Like Hemingway said, he who has learned to hunt men really can't find satisfaction in anything else. I know that's not the right quote. I'm butchering it. But essentially, that's the idea. Cole is at home. Again, Eduardo Risso with the heavy blacks, no cross-hatching, not much. But the way he drops things in shadow, which really wouldn't be, just to offset the image, to make the image work, I am taking notes. I am sorry that the light is shining on this a little bit hard. You guys can't really see it. But I am absolutely taking notes. This is Cole's girlfriend. They just had a conversation about getting engaged. He would be happy to marry her, but he needs money. She says she doesn't need money to be happy. He says we need money to raise a family. I had the whole Lucifer run. I still have number 1. We might do that. We might not. I'd have to get pretty far. It's a good story. It's not Neil Gaiman, thank God. Anyhow, Cole gets out of the shower. She says you got to go to the hospital. He's like, I already fished the slug out. I'm going to be fine. It was a short round, meaning it was the gunpowder may have not been fully charred. It may not have been, it might have been a light round, like less gunpowder than it should have had. Regardless, Cole pulls clothes out of the hamper, gets dressed, tells her he's got to go out and find a guy. Again, the way Eduardo Risso puts things in shadow to separate them from, in order to get a good silhouette, is just masterful. This is a masterwork. There is tons of notes I'm taking on this. I love the way he draws clothes. I love the costumes he puts his characters in. He's not stuck on one pair of shoes the way a lot of artists are. And again, just look at how much black there is on the page. He really adopted the how to draw comics the Marvel way, blocking stuff. He did a really good job. So Cole goes to his local bar to get a drink, and these guys walk in. This guy is just a regular guy, but that right here, that trench coat, the John Constantine look, the heavy duty John Constantine, that is Agent Shepard. Cole remembers him. Things are coming back to Cole really fast. Also, Cole is Chris Cornell of Soundgarden. That's Chris Cornell of Soundgarden. I don't care what anyone says. And Chris Cornell was suicided by the Jews who run this world, the perverted, disgusting, criminal, satanic Jews who run the world. Anyhow, Cole is my favorite. Cole and Wiley are both great. Jack's good too. I love this series. I only read it once, and I read trade paperbacks. I didn't read floppies. So this is just a fantastic series. Shepard comes in. They have a bit of a conversation. There's not a lot of subtext in this issue. This issue is direct. The dialogue is direct. These guys know what they want to say, and they say it. There's still a little bit of give and take, a little bit of innuendo, but not much. You guys should read it. I'm not going to read the dialogue to you because my eyes are fucked and I don't want to do that anyhow. That would really be crossing the line on copyright infringement. I know some guys do that. I've seen some guys do motion comics here, and very often those aren't animated very well and they don't really work very well. I've tried to read some digital comics that were animated where the word balloons would show up when the editor wanted them to. I was an editor for a long time. I never liked that stuff. You're trying too hard. After you read this, it is animated in your head, at least in mine. Anyhow, Cole and Shepard have a conversation. Cole explains that he's got to go find Graves. And then they get interrupted when someone trashes his ice cream truck. We don't know exactly how, but he runs out to find that Laszlo and his friends have tipped Cole's ice cream truck onto its side. God only knows how they did that. It's not shown, but Cole jumps inside, grabs a gun. He's probably going to kill Laszlo at this moment. Probably. I can't say I'd blame him. Look at this John Constantine. 8 points of articulation. The hands, look at the wrists. The wrists turn in the coat. He's got elbows. He's got knees. Toys have come up. And this is 2000. Anyhow, they all run because there's gas leaking out and the truck is now on fire and Cole gets exploded out of his ice cream truck. This is a flashback. That's Cole dressed in a suit with the other Minutemen. I hope the lights aren't too bright on all this for you guys. Anyhow, he's got some tequila and limes, which is what also, when Shepard comes in, he orders, what is it? I don't know, some kind of tequila that I'm spacing on the name of. Jarritos or something like that. When Shepard comes in, he orders Cuervo Gold because that's Cole's drink, but Cole doesn't really, he kind of remembers, but not really. Then we get the explosion, and here they are having some tequila. They've got a guy in the trunk who looks like Shepard. He's in Shepard's outfit, right? He's in Shepard's long coat. They drag him out away from the car, douse him with gasoline, and presumably set him on fire. So maybe Shepard survived this, or maybe that was someone else in Shepard's role. Difficult to say. Preacher got a TV show. That was a good comic. A priest, a vampire, and I don't remember what she was. She had some special powers too. An angel? I don't know. Anyhow, here's the new explosion. Laszlo, Cole is there. He's going to kill him, except Cole doesn't want to be an ice cream man anymore. And Laszlo now has to take over his route. Cole has a lot of power here. You can see it in his face, in his expressions. He's got the leverage. And that is Chris Cornell of Soundgarden. I'll die on that hill. And Cole explains what the kids on his route like and that Laszlo's going to be good to them. As a matter of fact, everything tomorrow is going to be free. And so he tells Shepard he has to go find Graves. He remembers Shepard. He remembers Graves' name. And he goes and finds Graves at Graves' favorite bar. Graves explains that they had to hide him and that in order to do that, he couldn't remember anything. They had to take his memories from him and that the memories were supposed to come back gradually and not all at once, not traumatically. But Cole was in an explosion, and so they did come back at once, traumatically, which is really good for us, really good for the audience. It keeps the story moving. This is what happened with Goldie. And Cole grabbed one guy's arm, used his hand to shoot the others. He did take a bullet in the shoulder, in the mix, but he was able to escape. Unfortunately, the guy that Graves hired to say the word Croatoa did not make it, and Cole explains that. Goldie did die. And Cole asks if his grandmother was really killed. It's kind of blurry what's true and what's not. Graves says it's all true, that he doesn't lie. And Cole says he loves his job. Graves asks him if he's ready to come back. And are you kidding? I love my job. And that is, oh wait, one more page. Yeah, here we go. So Cole goes back. There's Laszlo driving the ice cream truck. The girlfriend, she doesn't know what happened to Cole last night. He's down there. She runs down, and he's left the engagement ring on the telephone pole. And these guys are very much so. If you think that John Wick, obviously they're in New York, that's the Flatiron Building. The Minutemen are very much right out of the John Wick series. Obviously, those guys are Russian, but you know, this is what it is. There was something else. Oh yeah, I was. Well, we can talk about that in the next bit. I've been watching the first season of Daredevil again. I haven't watched all the new episodes yet. I heard it's not so good, but we'll see. This is awesome. And wouldn't Clint Eastwood have been great as Agent Graves about 10 or 20 years ago? Man, he'd have been perfect. I don't know who you'd cast in this role today. J.K. Simmons doesn't have the gravitas. There's got to be someone who's gotten up there. Tall, sort of thin guy like Clint Eastwood. It's kind of a shame they didn't draw him to look like Clint Eastwood. In some of the Punisher stuff they did. In some of the Punisher stuff, there's one where Punisher goes to Rikers Island and it's Clint Eastwood right out of Escape from Alcatraz. Which is, I think, awesome. The same way I think it's awesome to put Chris Cornell in here as Cole Burns. Cole Burns is also an awesome name. I love everything about 100 Bullets. This is a great non-superhero comic book. This is everything comics should be. Hey guys, I'm John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. These are the two greatest accomplishments of my life thus far. These two novels, they took a lot of time, they took a lot of effort and a lot of focus. And the worst thing you can do with your art is hurry it or rush it. And I'm so glad that they did not rush 100 Bullets. They took their time, they developed the story. I wonder how much time Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso spent talking this over, talking this out, working out the characters and who they were and what they were meant to be, because it's really, really, really well done. If you haven't read it, treat yourself, because there's nothing like it. Well, there's a few things like it now. The John Wick series is a little bit like 100 Bullets. 100 Bullets didn't get made, so John Wick got made instead. And I mentioned that I've been watching the first season of Daredevil. In the first season of Daredevil, Kingpin is a Jew. Kingpin is a Jew who has brought in the Chinese, the Japanese, Chinese drug dealers, Chinese heroin, which was pushed on China by Jews. They were the ones who brought the heroin to China in the first place. And he also had to bring in Russians and the Japanese to sort of take over New York. From who? From the white people. Hell's Kitchen, which is now called Chelsea, used to be a white neighborhood, and they were driven out by blacks and Puerto Ricans and whoever else, and I don't give a fuck. But the point is, the Jew needs the Muds to take down white civilization. And there's a line in Daredevil which is really awesome. The last episode I watched, I think it's 7 or 8, where Matt is sitting with the Catholic priest, and the priest quotes a Proverbs thing about when the fountain is muddied, it takes a while to make it clean again. Jews poison wells, and our civilization is a well. It's what was bequeathed to us by our ancestors, and it's being poisoned around us. But that's not the point I want to bring up. What the priest says to Matt is, are you looking for a reason not to kill him because you think you have to? Or are you looking for a reason, what was it? Are you looking for a reason not to kill him because you think you have to? Or are you looking for a reason to kill him because you want to? And those are very different things. And God knows, I've talked about me being a little bit schizophrenic in that I can have great empathy for people, but I'm also really ruthless and very much an executioner and a no mercy kind of guy. Because I've put forth so much effort and so much work in my life to develop myself to the point that I have even a smidgen of self-respect. Everyone is a poser at first. But When you go through the hard knocks and you take the spills and you know that you can hit the ground at running speed, smack into the cement that hard and get up and do it again and do it again and do it again, that gives you a resilience the average person doesn't have. And this is a great training ground for that. The Marine Corps in the 90s tried to develop a skateboarding crew. But you can't skate with that much shit on your body. You can't skate with a rifle in your arms. But the resilience of skateboarders, even the Marine Corps recognized that because they get up and do it again, and they get up and do it again. You got to find that. You got to find that in your soul. The SS had that because they trained together from childhood. Today's conflicted card talks about the coronal mass ejections in 1812 or 1820 or something like that, that fried, I can't read this, but it fried the burgeoning electrical, telegraph lines and everything. And what would you do if that happened again today? We don't need to have a nuclear war. God can do this to us. The sun could melt down everything. I think for the first week or so, I would watch and just wait and enjoy the fireworks, make some popcorn and watch everything go crazy. And maybe we won't get it, There's part of me that definitely wants the end of the world in my lifetime. And there's part of me that wants everyone to be happy and get along. But that would mean blacks have to start behaving themselves. That would mean Jews have to stop trying to destroy our society. And they're not going to. That ratchet only turns one way. So if you want rainbows and Pegasus, I'm glad they didn't put a horn on his head. Although the rainbow kind of makes it look like they did. But, not everything is teddy bears and rainbows. Jesus coming back with chocolate for everybody. That's not really the way the world works. Growing up means accepting that. We have a comic book for you guys here in the description, Ashley Fox Ninja Babysitter, where my heroine, Ashley, gets promoted to the Order of the Valkyrie. And I'm really proud of this. I did the thumbnails for this. I need to spend more time drawing. I really do. Once I get surgery on my eye next week, I'll probably dive into that a little bit more. I also spent this past month selling a whole bunch of shit that I really liked. A lot of hookups boards. I had a foil Mobius Punisher board that I sold that at a steep loss. I'll get another one. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a billionaire, or I'm going to die. One of those two things is going to happen. But I have the self-confidence to know that I can get there. And that is worth more than all the money in the world. So I hope you guys have a great day. It's not quite the weekend yet, but I hope you're doing great art. I hope you're having fun with your friends and family. I hope you're making jokes, not taking life too seriously. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.